like, what in the world is that? I mean, they've never seen anything like it. Hey, this is Jason with Denwerks. Got something pretty cool here for you today. It's my 1964 Buick Skylark Sport Wagon. I love these things. I remember when I was a kid, first time I ever saw one with those windows up above. I thought it was so cool, and you know, it's just something really unique. It's something you just don't see very often. And, you know, when you look up underneath here, to be able to actually look out up there, I mean, that is just really neat. But we'll step back out here and take a look and walk around, just show you different things. Okay, here we are in the front of it, and we'll just walk down the side here and talk about it a little bit and just show you some different stuff on it. Pretty excited about this one because this older lady that owned it brand new, she sold it when she was around 91. She lived in Medford, but she bought it new in California. Another guy bought it, actually in his 80s, believe it or not. He bought it and sold it just a couple years ago to a friend of mine, and my friend went over to look at it, but it was actually not for sale. It was sitting in his garage. He went over to look at something else and then found out he had this, so he ended up buying it and had it for about a year. But anyways, it's got a cool history. I got original window stickers and original invoice. They traded, you know, when it was new, a 55 Ford station wagon in on it. So pretty cool car. So we'll go ahead and walk around. We'll go ahead and look at the headlights and stuff. You can see right now, we'll turn the marker lights on. We'll have our headlights, high beams, and then we'll turn our blinkers on. We got the right and we got the left. You can see Stanley over there. He's being lazy watching us do this. So we'll go ahead and walk around the front here and just look at different things. Go ahead and turn the headlights off. You can see here the chrome is actually pretty nice. I mean, it's original chrome. It's not perfect. You'll see a little scuff mark right here on the side. And you can see original headlight. The other ones have been changed. But overall, you can see some little tiny pitting and stuff in the grille. But overall, it's really neat. One thing I liked about the Buick insignia here, look at those. I don't know if they're deer or elk or not, but I thought that was kind of neat. I've always thought that was neat. I'll have to research if those are, what kind of animal that is. And so, you know, the paint on it's not perfect. You're going to see some flaws in it. It's not the most perfect paint job in the world, but overall it looks nice. The color kind of shields some of that stuff. And you can see some little scratches right here. You'll see little paint imperfections right here around the side. You know, it's a car that's never been restored. They've just wanted to keep it nice looking through the years. You know, it's got not a ton of paint chips, but there is a few on it that you can see, little tiny ones. And you can see some little paint imperfections here around the front of the nose there. But we'll go ahead and walk down the side. I put the Buick Rally wheels on it. Those are actually really hard to find, and those are original. They're 14-inch, and they put brand new tires on it as well. But you'll see some little tiny pitting in the wheel, and you know, it's hard to find original, and I wanted to use original. You can see here the trim looks great down the side. There's a few little dings in it, but you can see a little bit of the paint has come off. It's kind of a satin finish down there. I love the factory portholes on the side. That's kind of a Buick thing. You look at the bottom of the fenders and the doors on this side, they look really good. You know, I don't see any blistering or any bubbles here. And you'll notice some little indentions. There's a little tiny ding right here. Hopefully you can see that. It was really hard to take a photo. If you look at the bottom of the door here, it looks real good. You will see some kind of checking here across this, and you know, some little fish eyes, and you can see some paint work that was done here it's not real good. And but overall, that's stuff that you could probably have blended or something down the road. You know, the one thing, the integrity of this car, when we put it up on the lift to show you the floors, it's in amazing shape, but you will see some few little blisters here and there, especially on the other side on the corners of the doors. But you look around the wheel lips, really, really good. You look at the bottom of the quarter panel, it's a nice shape, like the Skylark emblem. One thing that's kind of neat here is the, see that chrome inside the window? They kind of tried to make it look kind of wraparound, and there's no paint around here, just on this side, but when you look at the side, it really gives you kind of a real thin pillar type look. So we'll look here on the roof rack. You'll see some pitting and stuff on the roof rack in general, but overall, it's actually a really neat rig. We'll show you the other side here in a minute. You look at the roof gutters, they look in great shape. Windshield looks good, besides a couple little scratches from the old windshield wipers a long time ago. So anyways, we'll flip it around and give you another look. Okay, here we are. We're going to take a look at the driver's side. You know, while we're back here, why don't you go ahead and rev it up just a little bit? You know, it sounds great. You can see a little condensation coming out there, but not a big deal. You know, it just runs so smooth, and just sounds great, and you know, doesn't blow smoke or anything like that. So why don't you go ahead and shut it off, and we'll do a little walk around. First, I wanted to show you the tail lights and stuff working. Show us the brake lights. And if you look underneath here, you can actually see the light works underneath for the license plates. And we'll go ahead and show you the reverse lights real fast. You can see those. We're actually got those working as well. And so, you know, we just wanted to make sure everything worked on it real nice, so someone can drive it and enjoy it. This is the kind of rig that you could actually fly in here and drive it home. So we'll go ahead and walk around here and just look at imperfections. Go ahead and turn the key on so we can see how the window rolls up and stuff. But you'll see here, there's some little tiny cracking and stuff in this light. You know, nothing bad. I actually like how this concaves in here. It's actually a really cool design to me. And so go ahead and roll the window up. It rolls up and down pretty nice. A little bit slow, not bad. You'll see a little, this is real common, a little rub mark right here in the window, and it's from a guide, and nothing you can really do about that, and that's just really nice. Go ahead and lower it back down again. Just wanted to show you the speed, but overall you can see here, actually the window felt doesn't look too bad on it, except on this side it's starting to come off a little bit. So you know, it is original, so those are things that you can replace down the road and check out. But you look around the top here, you know, again, no rust or anything, and no accidents. We've had the panels out on the inside and they look pretty good. You'll see some little imperfections in the paint again here, and little scratches right there has been touched up, and some little imperfections. You can see here, got your gas lid. It's always been this color. I think it's only been painted once. And you look down here, you'll see one little, this is just some dirt here, but you'll see one little tiny bubble right there. You look around the wheel, well, you know, it looks in nice shape, you know, very good. You can see these little edges right here. That's a little factory piece that went over the edge. You can see it's deteriorated a little bit. You'll see some little bubbles in the bottom of this door, and a little bit here in this door as well. The floor pans and everything in this thing, we'll show you on my lift, look really nice, and overall it's in really in great shape. And I look down here at the bottom of the fender, you know, again, very clean. I like the way these mirrors look. You know, just like the style. And there's something about every car that I like, but obviously it's these windows. And station wagons are so popular now, and to have something like this, there's no other station wagons like this. GM did a good job with these rigs. You can see a little bit of delamination there in that window, but nothing you're going to change or anything on that. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of the exterior. you know, overall, you know, like I said before, it's not perfect, but it's really the perfect driver, and something that you can enjoy and have for a long time. Take a look at the inside here. First, I just wanted to show you that the key does lock the doors. You know, so those are all functioning. But I love the interior in this, and very, very original carpet, original seats. They really look in very, very good shape. And something you don't see on this model very often is this embossing here. I mean, it's very country western looking. I just love that. And actually, I haven't actually seen another Buick in this age that has that, and so I don't know if that's like a special option for these cars. You can see they continued it on the door panels, and you know, overall for an original car, the you know, that hasn't been restored, I mean, a lot of this stuff is in actually really good condition. I love the way the steering wheel looks. You can see some little tiny cracks right there on the steering wheel. Might have to have the key on for the horn. And let me see here across the dash. I love the way the dash looks. You got the emblem up there. You got Buick on the radio. And we'll drive in a little bit and show you some different stuff. Just wanted to show you this. This was kind of neat. You got to have the key on. You know, the brake light. That's original. And so when you release it, it comes off. And now it won't come off when I'm doing it, but that's just kind of a nice addition. It just reminds you that it's there. It's just this isn't coming up to turn it off. I'll have to adjust that, but I just wanted to show you that real quick. And what's nice about doing a video, everything doesn't go perfect, and you just deal with it. If you look inside the jam, everything looks good. You can see the original VIN tag is all there, and you know, the dash looks in really good shape. And you know, you got metal over here, but you actually have a vinyl over here, and there's no cracks or anything. And you look across the dash, they got the emblem there, Buick on the radio. We'll show you some other stuff, you know, when we're out driving it around. But you know, just look at the seats, look in good shape. You look at the jams, very nice conditions or condition. You just don't see any accident damage or anything. One thing here is on the floor, the carpet. You can see right there a little hole, and because it is original, and a little wear through mark right there. But overall, it looks great. It's got a remote mirror, which actually works, and I'll show you this window working. We'll show you the other one working. The other one's a little slow on the driver's side. Go ahead and show you on that side. That one's a little tougher, but it actually works. It probably could be lubed. And we'll go ahead and show you the back ones as well while we're at it. I'll show you mine on this side. How about if I go the right way? That was a little bit stiff, but, and it's safety. It only goes down so far, and I hated that when I was a kid, and I didn't know they started that early. I remember my parents had a, I can show you that window. I remember my parents had a 79 Malibu Malibu Classic station wagon, and I wanted those windows rolled down so bad, and my dad wouldn't alter them. I don't know if he could, but anyways, we'll go ahead and look at this seat here. Again, it's in really nice condition. It does flip down. I did cheat a little bit because I didn't have the right floor mats for the back. Those say Camaro in it, so now we've got a muscle car station wagon, but they are time period and look good. So we'll go ahead and flip this seat so you can see it. There's a little lever on that side, and it does flip forward. You know, overall that looks good, and you can haul a lot of stuff in there actually. And so we'll look up here at the windows again. I love those visors. You can see the visors back here. It's actually pretty cool. You know, the headliner looks great, and everything looks real good here. So we'll go ahead and hop over there on the other side. One thing, actually I forgot, this is cool, I'll show you when I'm driving it later, and you can see there the it's got a compass, a Kleenex box, and a little mileage thing there, so that's kind of neat. And so we'll go ahead and pop open the other side and let you look. Okay, we'll go ahead and look at the passenger side here. Just wanted to show you again, the door does work. You know, this is actually kind of cool. Sorry, mumbling there. See this little tag, 9303. That's actually the original tag for if you ever needed to get a new key made for it. And I found that in the glove box. You open the glove box here, you can see the original owner's manual. This is notes from the original owner, and you know, spark plugs, and you can see some mileage and stuff in here. Just kind of neat to have stuff like that, you know, when they put air cleaner in and stuff. Spark plugs again, differential checked, and just kind of neat things on these kind of cars. And so I just wanted to show you inside the jams on this side. You know, again, no accidents or anything, and very, very clean. And just look back here through the back seat. You know, no rips in the seats or anything like that. You'll see a little wear. You know, you can see a little bit of wear and a little bit of discoloration from the years, but overall it looks really nice. In general, you look at the door panels on this side. Again, very good shape. You know, the rubber isn't bad, but you'll see some little cuts and little rips and stuff in it. And but it's not bad enough where I would change it or anything like that. You'll see some little pitting on some of the chrome and different things, but hopefully that gives you a good idea of what the interior looks like in general. And just show you here on the passenger side. Again, there's a lot to show you on this car actually, and you get the 4 doors and a wagon and stuff. There's a lot of stuff. And same thing over here. You can see the ashtray, little pitting and stuff on it, and but the jams look good. You can see some of that wear I was talking about on top of the seat, but overall the stitching and everything looks excellent. And this is kind of cool safety wise. You know, they're starting to think about that stuff. You can see that little red reflector there, and you don't actually see that on a lot of cars in the 60s. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the rear end of it. Go ahead and look underneath here. I'll have Sheldon help me a little bit. There's actually a little prop rod you can flip up there. Some of these cars actually had a 3rd seat in it, and I think if you took this out, you could actually put the 3rd seat in it. The floor looks really nice back here. This is the original mat, and again, these leaves are flying in here, but this is the original mat. We'll take that out. And it had a piece of rubber back here, and it deteriorated really bad, so we went ahead and there was some surface rust, not a lot, but we went ahead and sanded it down a little bit, and put Pour 15 on it, and just put a light coat of same color kind of paint, and just so it looked a little nicer. But you know, overall it looked good, and we went ahead and just put a little piece of wood back here, and just to help protect it. And so just wanted to point that out. But actually really solid floor, and looks nice, and we just wanted to protect it a little bit more and clean it up. So anyways, I hope that gives you a good idea of the interior. Cruising a little Buick. I love driving this car. The music's just perfect, and I don't know what tune that was, but just made me feel good driving. And this car drives so smooth, and it's just kind of the kind of car you can just drive anywhere and just smile the whole time. And everything seems to be working. You can actually hear the fan. Let me turn the radio back down. You can hear the fan. Defrost and everything works. Right here is your accessory for the rear rear window. You can see the wipers. We're gonna work here. We're coming to a stop. It actually stops really nice. And I was looking at the cigarette lighter. It's actually not working, and it's probably just needs to be cleaned. I'll kind of take a look at that. No promises that I'll get that fixed, but it's not that hard to fix that. While we're sitting here, I just wanted to show you that the lights are working, and you can see the blinkers work. The clock's not working. Fuel gauge works, and actually when you turn it off, you might be able to see this. You can see the oil light comes on, and you can see the temp and the generator light came on there. So obviously those come on until you turn it on and it's running. So those only come on when there's a problem. So we can just hear the fan one more time. And so anyways, we'll just take it out for a little cruise. And one thing I wanted to point out here, and this is ahead of its time right here. I mean, look at that, built-in compass. This here is really neat. It's got the miles on it. You could click the miles there, and it got a Kleenex box. And if while we're driving here, once you show the windows and stuff, seeing the sky, and the trees go by as we're cruising by. So I just love those windows back there. I know I keep on talking about it, and it's just a great car. And I wish I could actually sit in the back seat and drive it at the same time, and so I can see out those. So anyways, we'll just cruise and enjoy ourselves. Okay, we're going to take a look underneath the hood. I just wanted to show you where the little switch is. It's right here. I'll have Sheldon help me. You just pull that and lift it up. It's kind of hard to do while you're pulling the camera, obviously, but underneath the hood is actually in really nice condition. We'll start it up here for a minute, but I just wanted to show you some different stuff on it. We did an engine detail to it, so I didn't want anyone to think that it's got a fresh rebuild. We just detailed it so it looked nice, and I do it to all my cars in general, especially just personal cars and stuff, and not trying to make anyone think that it's just a fresh rebuild, but it runs really, really smooth. And if I told you it probably had a rebuild, then you would think so. But we just wanted to look stock, look good again. We put a new intake manifold gasket on it actually, and new valve cover gaskets, and kind of took a lot of stuff apart to do this. So overall, it looks nice. It's a 300 V8, and if you can see there, it's a Wildcat 310. Buick did something a little different in those years. They would put the torque rating on there to make it look a little larger, I think is what they were doing. So that's kind of cool. And what they did is on this engine, which is kind of special, you don't see this in a lot of cars, especially in this vintage, factory intake manifold is aluminum, and the heads are aluminum. So that's actually pretty cool on something like this. You'll see it's got factory power steering, and everything looks good there. Not any leaks or anything that I've noticed. And we've driven the car a lot. You can see it's got its factory cal tag up there. We'll take a still photo so you can actually see things on there, and do some decoding and stuff. You can see the brake reservoir. One thing that's really nice, and before we start up, I just wanted to show you just the condition of the inner aprons and stuff. Like I mentioned before, it's got some paint issues, but you look inside here, this looks really good. You don't see any accident damage. The car hasn't been restored. It's always been driven and cared for. I believe it's got 119,000 miles on it. Just because I hadn't been driven in the story about it, I know that it had like 60,000 around 1980, but it was parked for a lot of years. But you look at the aprons and stuff, really nice shape, and no accident damage at all. Why don't we go ahead and start it up? You can hear it run. It runs so smooth. It's like a little sewing machine. Very smooth, and it is really fun to drive. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. It has plenty of power, and I'm just amazed, just being such original car, and you don't see stuff like this, very often. First generation type rig, and You know, again, I like those windows and stuff, but it's just a neat rig. We'll go ahead and show you some more stuff. Here we are, we're going to take a look underneath the little Buick. It's nice to do a video underneath. Been doing that on a lot of the cars, and it just kind of adds a little bit of you know, its value a little bit, just because you can see different things. I can poke on different things and talk about it. You know, things you see in a still photo, but you know, it's just really hard to tell what things really look like and condition of things. So hopefully this helps you a little bit as we walk underneath of it. This is a great driver. You know, we put new tires on it, and they look great. You know, obviously there's not any wear on them yet or anything like that, but the front end on this thing is really tight. You can see actually the little knobbies still here on it. We did put another radiator in it. It's an aluminum one. Had to modify it a little bit, but had it built, and looks in really good shape. You can look here, it's got drum brakes. We lubricated all the Zerk fittings and stuff like that. You know, the ball joints, everything's kind of dirty underneath here, but the ball joints and everything are tight, and you know, the little rubber around the ball joints there looks good. You know, the brake lines looking, you know, they're dirty, but I don't see any cuts or anything, any wear. You know, they look good. We did change the oil and stuff on it as well, and you can see here the brake line looks in good shape, and you know, everything just looks real tight. The shocks on it are actually fairly new too. I didn't change those; they were already done, and you know, the car just rides really nice. You know, we detailed underneath too, like I had mentioned up above, but you know, we haven't seen any really major oil leaks or anything like that. Everything seems clean. We did go ahead and service the transmission on it. I have put a little date there, 10/17, but new pan gasket, and a new filter, new fluid and stuff, and you know, the dust cover, we inspected the torque converter up there and stuff, and just cleaned that and painted it. You know, one thing really nice about this car is it's really solid. You look at the floors, really nice shape, and no signs of any rust on these floors here, on the floor pans. They look really nice. If you look at the rockers, inside the rockers here, really nice condition. You know, all the body mounts look good. You'll see some little superficial kind of checking, you can see right there on the mounts, but on the rubber, but nothing I'd be concerned about. You can see here, look at this floor here. Again, really nice condition. You know, overall, looks really good. I mean, this is the kind of way that you want to see an old car like this. And you can see here the bottom of the rocker here. The inner rocker, you can't see it on a video, but the inner rocker looks really good. You can see it kind of here on the behind the frame here, but you know, again, very clean, and no concerns. Look over here on this side. We did go ahead and service the tranny. I mean, not the tranny, the rear end. We put a new gasket on it, and put new fluid on inside as well, new gear oil. I just put a date there. It's got newer shocks in the back too. And like I mentioned before, all the brakes were done on this car, and we show pictures of all that. It had new drums on it as well, and everything looks in really good order. We put some Pour 15 on the floor on the trunk area, and there was a couple little pinholes, you know, one right there, and that was it. And we just cleaned it up, and it looked nice, really minor. And we did cut this little part out. It was just a little tiny little area of rust there, and we went ahead and welded in a new piece, and so that way it looks nice. You can see here the original spot welds underneath the quarter panels. And you go up inside the quarter panel here, You know, original spot wheels look really good. You can see the body mount looks good. You know, it's not rusty up there where it connects. And the other nice thing is too that I haven't seen any accident damage, you know, any major hits. You look up inside, it looks really nice. You can see the trunk drop off on this side looks good. You can see the original spot welds looking really good shape. I'll take you back up to the front here real fast. Look up back behind the headlight buckets. You know, again, this is all really clean and accident free, and looks really good. I mean, it's just a nice driving car, and you know, it's not restored or anything like that, but people kept it up through the years so they can enjoy it, and it's just a nice little cruiser. So if you got questions and stuff, just you can call me. You can you know, make comments through BAT. We'd be glad to help. You can email me or whatever. So anyways, I hope it goes to a good home. It's really a nice little car.